Hello, this is Mish from Downtime Distractions with a first look review of Hypersensitive Bob. So we'll define our first look reviews a bit differently over a full review, and I'll put the caveats in the description below. So if you want to check those out to really see the difference between a full review and our first look review, please have a read of that. Okay, so what is Hypersensitive Bob? So it's a low poly top-down shooter with rogue-like elements, developed and published by CID Limited. I probably butchered that name, so sorry about that, but I gave it a go. Okay, so these guys were kind enough to give me a key for a review, so thank you for that. Title's coming out on the 29th of March. Price on their website for the pre-order is $4.99 US. So one would assume that will be the similar, if not the same, on the Steam release. But it also might have discounts, you know. So bear that in mind. Maybe just check it out and see what's going on the Steam page when you're listening to this. So you play as Bob, and as the title says, he's hypersensitive. So he's allergic to everything. And you're going on, like, I guess, a quest to fight your allergies to regain control of your life. So there is no save with this game. Every time you start, you're starting fresh with no items, no currency. And you go clear level by level. So once you clear one level, you can unlock the next level. So you take your little rocket and you blast up to the next level. Death is, you can purchase a resurrection, but you need the currency to do that. And when you die, you start right back from the beginning, unless you can afford the resurrection. The currency is a little strange too. It's in vaccines. So the way you get vaccines is by killing enemies, and a few other ways as well. I'll show you that in a minute. So every time you finish a level, you also get the choice or the chance to purchase some power-ups. You don't have to, as your currency is something you need to balance as you're going along. So with that all out the way, let's have a look at how the game handles, and I'll show you some mechanics in the game too. What we have on the screen, top, middle, you have 8 out of 8, so that's actually your rounds. So after 8 rounds, you need to reload. Now that's a very important game mechanic because the reloading without any power-ups takes a long time. Middle, heart is obviously your life, so I can take 5 hits from anything. And if I obviously get to the end of that, I'm dead. And on the right of the middle bar is 90, which is your vaccines. So as you can see, I've got this little kind of angry bee trying to hunt me down. He's not actually aggroed to me, but he does just kind of wanders around. You need to take him out. So I guess for me, straight off, I want to mention the controls, as I've found it strange and foreign. I tried with the gamepad and I didn't like it. I'm on the keyboard, so what I'm using my W, A, S, and D to move around. And I'm using my arrows to actually shoot in any particular direction. So shoot, top is obviously up, down, left, right. You can do it a little differently, so you could aim his direction he's shooting and then press space, but I don't think that works as well. I think this is the best way to do it. Obviously it's personal preference, but this is the way I think is best. So it's a strange way to do it, and I guess I've never come across a game with the same, you know, I would expect you to be able to move the mouse around to shoot in the direction you want, but it's not like that. And if that's going to put you off, you know, you want to question that. As for me, I took a bit to get used to it, but now I'm used to it. I quite like it. And then reload. So, as you can see, there's a couple of different mob types that we're dealing with. You're dealing with the kind of patrols and these static ones that fire when you aggro them, and you got to really time it right to take them out. Okay, so that was that level finished. This is a very early level, so these are very easy. Okay, another important thing here. So you see my currency, I have 114. So this is the time when you can upgrade or use the power-ups. So this is random. Every time you come here, you're going to get different options. Okay, so sometimes you have free ones. Sometimes you have legend. I think this legendary one is from a previous run I've done, so you can unlock more items the more times you complete it. I've completed it twice. And this one here, which is a rare, but I'll go with a cheapie and just get that one. So, as I said, I've completed this game twice. Every time I finished it, it takes me about half an hour for one run through. So bear that in mind when you're kind of questioning, is this game worth picking up? And are you going to be annoyed at repeating the same thing over and over again? Because there's lots of different levels that you're going to come across, but in essence, it's the same, the same mechanic and the same thing. There are other characters to unlock. So there's 2 other characters I can see you can unlock, and apparently they have different abilities as well. So, oh yeah, these porcupines shoot goo at you sometimes. So bear that in mind. So you've got replayability of the different weapons, all the upgrades, and unlocking those 2 different characters that play differently. But still, something to bear in mind. Half an hour to complete this level, the actual game from start to finish, and then it's rinse and repeat, right? Okay, so graphically, as you can see, it's pretty simplistic. So it's got that low poly look to it, which is very deliberate, of course. But the characters are quite nice. The enemies, it's all kind of, there's a bit of a charm to the game with that stuff, so it's okay. Nothing amazing graphically though, but that's obviously a deliberate choice by the developer. And you always limit yourself when you choose a design like this. But I mean, for me, I think the design is quite nice. And let's move on to audio. Audio, the sounds, the assets of the game and the ambience, it's all fine. The music gets a little bit repetitive, but it's all of a higher quality. Towards the end, I was kind of leaving my headphones off and not listening to the sound at all, and just kind of plugging away at it, because I enjoyed the gameplay, but the sound, as I say, a bit repetitive, so not the greatest on that. A bit more variety would be good. So gameplay. I liked how the weapon feels. I think the weapon feels good, and I like how long it takes to reload, and I like the different enemy types as well. So they really come together nicely. There's a nice confluence of those components, adding on top of that the power-ups as well. And you have a nice game where you really have to think about how you attack, and it's not just gung-ho. You can't just charge in guns blazing and take everything out. You need to plan it, and you've got to be cautious as well. So it's good. I mean, the gameplay is solid. I just wish there was a bit more of it. Okay, so when I say I wish there was a bit more of it, I'm referring to the fact that, as I said, I've completed this game twice. Every time it took me half an hour. Now, half an hour of content before I have to start repeating the same stuff, I don't think that's an acceptable amount of time. Even for a $5 game, I think you need a bit more. Give us another option. So you've got the rockets where you can go up and go that direction. How about give us a tunneling device where you go down to the ground and you have different levels. Just something a bit different, because, as I say, half an hour, it's not, it's not enough. And whilst there is definitely replayability there with the new power-ups and the unlocks, and the gameplay is good enough that you want to play it a few more times as well. But I just wish they'd given us a bit more, which is unfortunate. So there's a real paucity on that content amount. But yeah, I think I've said that enough. So, summary, graphics, I like them. I think it's a really good design. Audio has the issue with the repeating soundtracks, get a bit annoying. Gameplay, the actual feel of the game and how it works is really good. I like it. But I'm just disappointed with the content amount. Okay, so I'll leave it here. Please give us a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Give us some feedback if you have time. Positive or negative criticism is always appreciated. Subscribe helps us out, and share the video as well. Try and spread the word, because we're trying hard making videos here, and I hope you guys enjoy them. And I'll see you next time.